the Texas Longhorns had the talent, but they didn't have the willingness. I don't know what they didn't have, but they did go below 500 last year. But 5-7 in 2021. Bring in Quinn Ewers, Jaleel Billingsley, a bunch of other transfers, and let's see what they can do on the field this year. They also got a matchup with my Alabama Crimson Tide week 2 early on. It's a tough task, but I think they can handle it. Let's go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Christian Ballard, Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with another preview video today in the Big 12 now. So we did Baylor. We're doing Texas now, staying in the state of Texas. We're going over to Austin from Waco. See what I did there? All right. Do me a favor, real quick before we get started. Hit that thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. I do all kinds of college football content. I live stream MLB games, and we'll definitely get started on some NBA content when the season gets back and going, and college basketball too. So, but we mostly do college football content over here. So if you enjoy that, stick around and stay tuned to what else we got coming to the channel, and really would appreciate it. So today, looking at the Big 12 in Texas, as soon as my computer can start acting right, Texas 2022 preview, going back to last year, which, by the way, before I say anything, there's a lot of hype around this Texas team this year with Quinn Ewers coming in, with Jaleel Billingsley, with Agiye Hall, which I still don't even know if he's going to play. I think I heard that he was lifted off the roster or something. Prayers for Agiye Hall, whatever's going on with him mentally. But there's a lot going on with him. But anyways, regardless of that, the Texas Longhorns have the talent this year to get some good things done, to win some big-time football games, to at least compete. They have the talent, and they especially have the quarterback. I'm high on Quinn Ewers, a 5-star recruit that originally committed to Ohio State, but, of course, C.J. Stroud beat him out, and he headed to Austin, and he's going to be the starting quarterback this year for the Texas Longhorns. So looking at what they did last year, 5-7 overall. They went 3-6 in conference play. They below 500. If we expect them, or if they are what we expect them to be, let me put it that way, they should go above 500, right? I think the sky is the limit. I really think that this Texas team, I'm not going to sit here and say it could be like 2004 or 2005 back then. I'm not going to hype them up to be national title contenders, but they could come pretty close to a 10-win season. They might come just shy of it, but they can come pretty close. But you look at their schedule last year, they beat teams like Louisiana and Rice, Texas Tech, TCU, but then they lost to teams like Arkansas, which isn't a bad win there. They lost to Oklahoma. They were able to keep it close in the Red River rivalry. Oklahoma State, Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas, West Virginia, and then they ended off with the win with Kansas State. So Texas had a rough year when you look at it last year. Casey Thompson threw for only over 2,000 yards. Bijan Robinson, who comes back, who was a 1,000-yard rusher last year, he is hyped up and ready to go. The lead tackler was DeMarvion Overshown, the linebacker who comes back. He had 74 tackles this past season, and B.J. Foster led in interceptions at 3. So, hold on one second. Anyway, back to Texas. Sorry about that interruption there. So they had an overall good season, right? Or a overall really bad season, I should say. I apologize. But there's a lot of hype around this year's team. And nobody is hyping them up to be back yet. Nobody's doing that. But we are looking at the quarterback situation and what could be really good with Quinn Ewers at quarterback, Jaleel Billingsley at tight end. They bring in some guys. By the way, shout out to backup quarterback who's a junior, Ben Ballard. Great last name there. Jaden Blue comes in as a freshman. Jonathan Brooks comes in as a freshman. Roshan Johnson comes in. Bijan Robinson comes back, and Keelan Robinson comes in. He transfers from Alabama. But it's going to be Bijan Robinson. There's a lot of different names that you could see at the running back position, but I think it's mostly going to be Bijan Robinson, who is a Heisman contender this year alongside Quinn Ewers. They bring in a lot of receiving talent, such as Paxton Anderson, Parker Alford, Jaden Alexis. And then you got the defensive side of the ball with guys like freshman Aaron Bryant, Jere Bledsoe. I haven't looked into much on their defense, but just to give a couple names out there, some shout outs to what they could have. It could be something special. So, but again, I mentioned Quinn Ewers. They brought in Isaiah Nayer from Wyoming. They brought in Jaleel Billingsley and Ajay Hall from Alabama. They did bring in a quarterback alongside Quinn Ewers. They brought in Casey. He transferred out of Texas. Casey Thompson went to Nebraska. I apologize there. But they did bring in Ryan Wyatt, who's a corner on defense from Ohio State. So they brought in some guys, got some experience. Overall, let's just go ahead and get into 2022 and what the schedule looks like, because I expect them to have a big year. I really do. Let's go. All right, open things up with ULM. Then you play Alabama. My Crimson Tide played them week 2. UTSA at Texas Tech. West Virginia, the Red River rivalry, Iowa State at Oklahoma State. Get a bye week, which I think is probably not the best of timing. I think it really doesn't matter where the bye week is. But you got at Kansas State, TCU, at Kansas, and then Baylor. Honestly, I think this is going to be a team that struggles early on. I think they struggle early on, but they get better throughout the season. So you could see them start out. Honestly, the first month in September is probably a 3-1 stretch right there outside of Alabama, right? Because that's a loss. Not an automatic. I give Texas all the credit in the world. They're going to be tested. Alabama's going to be tested. It's going to be a great game, and I can't wait to go live for you guys for it. Honestly, I like Texas personally to turn things around this year and improve as the season goes on and possibly win the Big Ten, right? Are there any trap games, which I didn't make note of, but I would be careful with West Virginia, Oklahoma, Iowa State. That's a 3-game stretch all at home, at least in the state of Texas. That could be something special for you guys. If you win all 3 of those, that'll really boost some confidence to maybe win out the rest of the way. It could. Um, Kansas State's known to upset some teams at home. That could be a loss right there. You got them last year at home. Their losses were against the greater teams: Oklahoma State, Baylor, Iowa State. I don't understand the Kansas loss. You have to play them this year on the road. That I'm going to say you win. If you lose to Kansas again, Texas, that's just going to be insane and crazy. But I'm going to make it short today. I'm going to say I think they could get at minimum 8-4. At most, they could honestly go 10-2. But I'm going to cut them in the middle here. I'm going to I'm going to say 9-3. I'm going to say Kansas State pulls an upset too, by the way. I think Alabama, Oklahoma, and at Kansas State, right? You're coming off a bye week. You're coming off probably could be some close games because they're going to have such a stretch right there with Oklahoma, Iowa State, and Oklahoma State. They're going to have a lot of things going for them. And it's possible that, like, look, Texas is not that special this year. I mean, they're going to be good. They're going to be talented, but it's going to be very challenging of a schedule for them. So 3 losses, they could maybe I'm crazy. Maybe I'm overlooking what Kansas State could do because I know Kansas State has pulled some upsets in recent years. Did they get Oklahoma a couple years ago? I think they did. Hold on one. Anyway, 9-3 for Texas this year in 2022. I'm gonna get out of here. Kind of chaotic here around the house right now. I love y'all. Jesus loves you. He's got a great plan. Keep your head up. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media. Check it out. Love you guys. See ya.